Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in, you guys. Alrighty, Impact Math is back with the GED. So if you know anybody that has been struggling to pass their GED, we're gonna be doing the math tonight. Alrighty. So let's start with our first one. We're adding polynomials. So when we add polynomials, we have to do like terms, okay? So we're going to look at this 5x squared, and the like terms with that is a 3x squared, okay? Those two are like terms. Thank you for the follow, Ray. And thank you for the double taps, you guys. Thank you all for the follow. And we have negative 3x, and we have a negative 2x here. And then our last like terms are these constants, which just means the numbers without any variables, are those. So we're going to connect our oranges. So 5 plus 3 gets us 8x squared. Okay. Then we have our greens. So a negative 3 minus 2. Somebody owes you $3. They say, let me get 2 more. How much do they totally owe you? Well, they totally owe you negative 5x. Okay. And then our purples is going to be negative 4 plus 6, which is a plus 2. And this is our simplified answer, okay? We cannot get any more simplified because these are not like terms. Thank you for all the follows and the shares, you guys. Thank you, Poo-Poo. Alrighty, let's try this next one, all right? So we have negative 8g squared. And we have a positive 8g squared. Then we have a 7g squared. A plus 7g and a negative 7g. And then we have this plus 6 and this minus 5. Okay. So can somebody tell me in the chat, what do our oranges get us when we combine those? When we get negative 8 plus 8. Oh, you're so welcome. So what's negative 8 plus 8? Sky said 0. Perfect. 0, they cancel out. Yes. So if somebody borrowed $8 from you and they paid you 8, they're good. So these actually cancel out. Okay. 7g minus 7g. 7 minus 7. Again, these also cancel out. Okay. And then what's 6 minus 5? Can you guys put it in the chat? 6 minus 5. Answer is 1. Excellent. Yes, the answer is 1. And they would do some sneaky stuff like this on the GED. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cassie. Thank you. Alrighty. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to answer number 3. Put it in the chat. Do you think it's A, B, C, or D? Oh, VX said they're doing multiplying. We do have that coming up. C or D? Oh, VX said they're doing multiplying. We do have that coming up. C or D? Oh, VX said they're doing multiplying. We do have that coming up. GED, please share this with them. Okay, somebody said B, A. Ooh, A. Okay, all right, so let's check it out. I love it. So let's see. So first, I'm going to look at, I have a positive 2xy. I'm looking, do I have another xy? Just xy. Right here, I have another xy. Okay, so those are like terms. Now, my next, I have a 3xy squared. So I'm looking for xy squared. Do I have another xy squared? Here's another xy squared right here. So I highlight that because those are like terms. And then I have a negative 4x squared, okay, because x squared y. And this is another x squared y, okay? So these are like terms, okay? So now we're going to combine our oranges. So I have a 2 plus a 2. So a 2 plus a 2 gives me 4xy. So right now, I would look at my answer choices. I see my first step was 4xy. I'm going to circle B and I'm going to move on. Remember, this is a timed test. You don't have time to be solving it all the way out, right? We have to look at your first, we combine these, and then we see. And you circle your answer and you move on. That's a strategy, okay? We combine these and then we see. And you circle your answer and you move on. That's a strategy, okay? And you circle your answer and you move on. That's a strategy, okay? It's a strategy. And you circle your answer and you move on. That's a strategy, okay? It's a strategy. All right, but let's actually do this out, okay? Because this is not timed. I want people to see it, why it's B, okay? So here we have 3xy squared minus a 3. So a positive 3 minus a 3, these cancel out because 3 minus 3 goes to 0. Then we have negative 4 plus 5. Well, 5 minus 4 is a 1, and we have one of these. Oh, I'm tripping. Yes, I am. Good. Oh, see? Oh, my bad, y'all. I would have got it wrong. Sick. My bad. I would have got this wrong. It was 4xy, but I should have saw that there was two 4xy's. So that gave me a 50-50 chance. So I should have canceled out this and this, but I couldn't just solidify this just because I saw 4xy, because there was a 4xy here. So actually this is not right, because when we connect the two greens, we see that we're left with 1. So A. So whoever said A, you guys were right. Oh, catching my mistakes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it is A. Teachers do be wrong. I never say that I'm 100% correct. I please believe everybody could be wrong, okay? No matter if you got a bachelor's degree in math or a master's degree, people make mistakes. So, yep. So good. So does everybody see why it is actually A? There was two 4xy's here. And then we saw that these canceled out. Okay. And there was no 3x by itself. That should have told me right there. I should have saw that. But all right. Good. Let's keep it pushing. All right. So we're going to go to subtract. All right. Let's go do some subtraction. And then we have some multiplying coming up and some factoring. Okay. So subtract the following polynomials. So the first step, whenever you're subtracting polynomials, what we must do is we're going to cover this up and we're going to distribute this negative to each term. Okay. And so basically what that means is if this is a positive 16, we're multiplying by negative 1. So we put negative 16a squared. Okay. And a negative times a positive gets us a negative 6a. And a negative times a negative gets us a positive 6. So literally, you're flipping all the signs to their opposite. So this negative went to a positive. This positive went to a negative. This positive went to a negative. Okay. Now, since there's no negative in front here, we just drop this down. So we put 17a squared minus 4a minus 4. Now we just doing exactly what we did when we first started. We're combining like terms. So we have a 17a squared minus 16a squared. Okay. Our next terms are negative 4a. Do I have another a? Right here, negative 6a. And then we have negative 4 and a plus 6. All right. Okay. Now I got some questions for y'all. So when we combine our oranges, can somebody put what you got when you combined your orange? What do we get? Thank you for all the follows and the double taps. A squared. Perfect. It's 1a. Okay, good. Don't forget the square part. So 17 minus 16 is 1a squared. Now you could put the 1 there, but they'll never show that on an actual test. It's just going to write it just like this, a squared, okay? So we done with our oranges. Next, we're going to connect our greens. Can you tell me what do we get? Sky said negative 10a. Okay, negative 10a. I love it. Good. Yes. Do we get? Sky said negative 10a. Okay, negative 10a. I love it. Good. Yes. Negative 4, 10a. Okay, negative 10a. I love it. Good. Yes. Negative 4 minus 6 is a negative 10a. Excellent. And then 6 minus 4 gives us a positive 2. And if this is what you got as your answer, perfect. Great. Great, great, great. Good. Oh, be careful. Somebody said positive 10. You got to watch that sign on that 4. It's 6 minus 4, okay, which changes it to a 2. Thank you, Payor, for the roses. All right, let's do number 2. Okay, so remember, first step, we have a minus in front of parentheses. We have to change every sign in here to a negative. Thank you, Sean. So we do negative 2x squared, negative x minus 2. And then we're going to drop down this down here. So we're going to drop this down. 5x squared plus 2x plus 4. Okay. And then we're going to combine like terms. Thank you so much for the star. So we're going to connect these right here. Later, okay? For when your brother and sister get home. Thank you. So we got 2x minus x. Okay. Oh, you guys, we went Halloween, we went trick-or-treating, and let me tell you, we got so much candy, and my kids, I know I got to get them a dentist appointment, because I'm like, y'all eating too much candy. It's sick. Good. So, okay, let me see. TSR said 3x squared. TSAP said 3x squared plus x plus 2. Ooh, okay, let's see. Thank you, Max, for the football. So 5 minus 2 gets us a 3x squared. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Then we got 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 leaves us with just 1x. Okay, TSAP 16, I see you. And then 4 minus 2 is a plus 2. And that is perfect. Wonderful, you guys. Good. All right, I'm going to give you guys a chance to answer number 3. Okay, so somebody said C. I see you. Okay, somebody said the answer C. Purple said C. Emily said D. Gentle said C. Okay. Kayla said C. Oh, we getting a lot of C's. Okay. All right, I'm going to cover this up, and then I'm going to say negative 1 times 3 gets me a negative 3x squared. A negative times a negative, okay, gets me a positive 3x. And a negative times a negative gets me a positive 2. That's my first step. Then, since this doesn't have a negative, I just drop it down. So 5x squared minus 2x plus 1. Alrighty. So now we're about to see our like terms. I just love color coding, you guys. Like, it just helps my eyes see. So I have a 5 and I have a negative 3x squared. Then I have a 2x, a negative 2x, and a plus 3x. Okay, and then I have an orange. Right here is plus 1 and plus. Okay, so I'm going to try to use my strategy. 5 minus 3. I get 2x squared. Okay, so right now, by just looking at that, I'm looking at my options. I know A is out. Okay, but I still have a third chance. No, you can eat at the table, okay?
Can I go back and forth?
Yep. So now we're going to connect our greens. So now we have negative 2 plus 3. So 3 minus 2 is plus 1x. And I'm looking here. The only thing that has plus 1x is C, and C is my answer, and I'm moving on. I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out this last thing because it's a time test. So C is, if you said C was, you're 100% correct. So the problem with D is, you guys, is they didn't distribute the negative here. So you never change the sign on that -3. That's why you could get -5 if you forget to change the sign to its opposite. That's why D is wrong, okay? And then, so we can finish it out. 1 plus 2 gives us the +3, which they all have. So this was really what helps us tell the difference, okay? All right, let's get to some, really what helps us tell the difference, okay? All right, let's get to let's get to some multiplying now. Let's get to some multiplying. Let's get to some multiplying now. Let's get to some multiplying. Hi. Yeah, I do geometry as well. Yep, for the GED. Also, I teach geometry. Yeah. Does anybody know the difference? So the difference, hey Jaybird. So the difference here, so let me explain the difference, okay? The difference is the exponents are going to change on the variables, okay? So what do I mean by that? So 7 times 4, okay? So we do 7 times 4, okay? And then we do A, because we have 1A. I have 2 B's here, and I have 2 C's. So I'm just rewriting everything next to each other, okay? So 7 times 4 gets me 28. I have 1A. Now, how many B's do you have? Well, we have B to the 2. And why that is B to the 2 is because there's an imaginary 1 up here on these exponents. And when you multiply variables, you add the exponent. So we should also have a C squared because it's 1 plus 1. Good. Okay. 28AB squared. Love it. Yes. All right. So let's do number 2. Let's do number 2. So what do we do with the numbers? What do we do with these numbers? Hey, somebody said they just took the GED 6 times. Please do not give up. Please don't ever give up. I know it's so frustrating. Hey, I see one of my oldies. Hi. But please don't give up. This test, remember, this is a company that makes money on people failing. So keep on trying, get the tutoring, practice daily. You will pass it. Okay. Good. So somebody said 34. So we do 17 times 2. Okay. And then we have an F squared. And then I'm going to put this F. Okay. I have a G. I have an H to the third and an H to the. And then I'm going to put this F. Okay. I have a G. I have an H to the third and an H to the fourth. Okay. So 7 times 2 is 34. And then remember, there's an imaginary 1 up here. So we add the exponents. So F is 2 plus 1 gives us 3. We have a single G. And then we have H. Add those exponents. 3 plus 4 gives us 7. And this is our beautiful answer. Okay, good. Yep, good. I see them coming in. Sandra, yes. Okay. All right, so let's do number 3. What do you guys think number 3 is? What do you guys think number 3 is? C? Okay, so what do you guys think number 3 is? C? Okay, somebody said C. D-A. Ooh, we kind of. Okay, somebody says C. D-A. Ooh, we kind of. Okay, somebody says C. D-A. Ooh, we kind of all over the place on this one. C-C-A. All right, let's check it out. Okay. So which of the following expressions is equal to? And then we have an A to the third and an A squared. Okay, because we have an A to the third, an A squared. So we write those next. We have a B squared and a times C. So what we're going to do.
In the living room, I won't make a mess.
You can go back and forth, okay? So 4 times 3 is 12.
It's not a bag. Are you serious?
So 4 times 3 is 12. You guys, you guys know. My parents out there, if y'all know, okay? So 4 times 3, I'm trying to establish where we eat food, right? We eat food in the kitchen. Especially since you can't sweep up after yourself. All right, so 4 times 3 is 12. So here, okay, I just gave myself a 50-50 chance. I'm taking out B and I'm taking out D because I know 4 is 12. So now we're here. Okay, this is what you have to remember. When you multiply variables, you add the exponents. Okay, so we do A to the 3 plus 2 is 5. And so since this is the A to the 5, I know A is my answer. And then we could drop down B to the second, and we have 1C. Okay, so yeah, remember what does parentheses mean? You add the coefficients. Okay, so yeah, remember what does parentheses mean? You add the coefficients. Okay, so yeah, remember what does parentheses mean? You add the coefficients. Okay, the numbers that are in front. Alrighty. Okay, let's check out number 4. Okay, the numbers that are in front. Alrighty. Okay, let's check out number 4. Okay, so somebody said this one is D. Okay, it's D. Okay, D. Everybody's getting D on this one. Okay, Martha has 2 PC squared board pieces, and John has 6 P squared C board pieces. Which of the following expressions represent the product? Ooh, this is a key word right here. The product of the number of board games that Martha and John have. Product means you multiply. So we would do 2PC squared times 6P squared C. Okay, because it says the product. So that means we multiply. So then I would say 2 times 6. I would have a P and a P squared. I would have a C squared and a C. Okay. Is people changing their answers, or are we still sticking with D? Okay, so 2 times 6 is 12. So right then and there, I know 100% that A and B are out because this is A and we're not adding, we're multiplying. Okay, so then we have a 1 right here. Okay, and remember, whenever you multiply variables, which just means the letters, you add the exponents. So we get P, 1 plus 2 is to the third. C, 2 plus 1, because there's always a matter, third. C, 2 plus 1, because there's always a matter. C, 2 plus 1, because there's always an imaginary 1. 2 plus 1. Thank you. Alrighty, let's keep it pushing. Okay, so now we're about to get into multiplying binomials. Alrighty, let's keep it pushing. Okay, so now we're about to get into multiplying binomials. Okay, we're going to multiply some binomials. Okay, so we're going to multiply some binomials. Okay, So you could do this multiple ways, you guys. We could do it FOIL. We can do it distributive property. Anyways, multiple ways, okay? Oh, somebody said go back, please. Yes, I can. Thank you, Peachy, for the roses. So let me go back. All right, there goes that. Hopefully you can see it. Did you want to take a screenshot? Oh, I'm sorry, you're failing. Yep, it was D. Thank you, 9X family. Yeah, you can get rid of the chat like if you swipe left or swipe right, one of those. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to move forward. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's do number 1. Okay, let's do number 1. So I'm going to do this the distributive property way. And why I'm going to do it that way is because I don't want you to get fixated on one method that only works for this. I want you to be able to multiply anything. If they give you a monomial times a binomial or a multiply anything. If they give you a monomial times a binomial or a multiply it by this whole entire term, which is x minus 6. And this is called the distributive property way, okay? Because we're distributing this to here and here, okay? So, x times x, x to the second power, okay? Because remember, there's a 1 and a 1. 1 plus 1 gives us a 2. X times negative 6 gets us negative 6x. Just always put the letter and number together, okay? And here we have 5 times x gets us a plus 5x. And then 5 times negative 6 gets us a negative 30. Okay. Good, Mel. Yes. Okay, perfect. Aw, thank you, Lion. Okay, so what do we do next, you guys? We're right here. Are we done or do we have a little bit more to go? What do we do? Why is the x second power? Why this is to the second power is because whenever you multiply variables, you add their exponents. So what this says is we have x 1 plus 1 and you get x. You add their exponents. So what this says is we have x 1 plus 1 and you get x to the squared. That is why. So like 1 plus 1 and you get x to the squared. That is why. So like terms. Yes, yes, yes. So we can combine these like terms right here. Okay. Like terms. Yes, yes, yes. So we can combine these like terms right here. Okay. Because it's 3 separate terms. Okay. Good. Yes. What level is this? This is algebra 1, I would say. 9th grade math. Okay. All right, let's go to number 2. Okay. So, number 2, we're going to take this 3x right here. Okay. And we're multiplying it by this entire parenthesis. Okay. And then we take this and do the same thing. So, I'm going to drop down my 3x. I'm multiplying by this entire parenthesis, 3x plus 5. Then I take my orange, plus 3, and I multiply it by this entire parenthesis, 3x plus 5. Okay. So now we're going to use the distributive property. Can somebody tell me what we get when we distribute this first parenthesis? Can you guys tell me in the chat? What do we get when we do these first parentheses? 9x squared. Ooh, some people are giving me the whole answer. Okay, 9x squared plus 24x plus 15, 9x squared. Okay, so we get 9x squared. Love it. And then 3x times a 5. Well, 3 times 5 gets us 15, and we carry the x. Well, 3 times 5 gets us 15, and we carry the x. Okay, great. Yes, perfect. And then if we're so good, you guys are on point tonight. We have 9x squared. 15 plus 9 gets us 24x. And then we drop down our 15. And this is our beautiful and then we drop down our 15. And this is our beautiful trinomial. How did you get helped? Okay, good. Somebody asked, are we doing factorization? We're gonna do dividing first, and then we're going to jump into some this multiplying or simplifying, and this is what it would look like on the actual tests. So this one we're not going to use a well, we haven't been using the calculator, but because you know there's a 2 parts to this, no calculator and calculator. Do I get into factorization? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Yeah, here. But we're just gonna, yep. So that's what we're doing, okay? So number three. Which of the following expressions is equal? So I'll give you guys a chance to look at it. What do you guys say for number 3? Oh, I'm so sorry. I know. You know what? That's what I say as well, Sarah. Man, I struggle with math. Like, it didn't click for me until I got to college. And I tell you, it really depends on the teacher you have. Like, either they can make it click in your brain where it's just like, oh, and then really depends on the teacher you have. Like, either they can make it click in your brain where it's just like, oh, and then if you get a horrible teacher, CBB, okay? Some people are saying C or BB, okay? So we do 4a times this, 3ab minus 7, and then we take this plus 2, and we multiply it by this thing as again, 3ab minus 7, okay? And then we're going to, oh, you guys can't see. We're off the paper. I'm going to scoot it over a little bit, okay? And then we're going to distribute here. All right, this is the tough part. 4 times 3 gets us 12, okay? Now we have a times a. Well, how many a's do we have? We have a to the second power. We have b times b. That's b to the second power. So just right there, I know from my answer choices, just by doing that A and D is not an option. I just gave myself a 50-50 chance on this question, okay? So now let's keep it going. A 50-50 chance on this question, okay? So now let's keep it going. Okay. So now let's keep it going. Okay. Here. So 2 times 3 gets me a plus 6, and I have to carry the AB. Okay. And then now we're going to do 2 times a negative 7, which gives me a negative 14. Now, by just knowing, do 2 times a negative 7, which gives me a negative 14. Now, by just knowing that, BB, yes, it is B. Because this one is a positive 14 and this is a negative 14. So 2 times negative 7 is the only one that has a negative 14. So our only answer is B. We didn't even have to combine these, because both of these came out either a negative or a positive. But as soon as we saw that this bigger number is negative, we take the sign of the bigger number. So we know it had to be negative 22AB. Drop down your 14, drop down your 12A squared, B squared. And that is our answer. Great, you guys. Wonderful. All right. Let's get into some dividing. Okay, let's get into some dividing. Okay, now remember there's multiple ways to do math. If anybody tells you there's only one way, it's just okay. Now remember there's multiple ways to do math. If anybody tells you there's only one way, it's just their limited thinking, okay? There's always multiple ways. If anybody x divided by 3x, okay? So 18 divided by 3 gets us 6. And does anybody remember what happens to 18 divided by 3 gets us 6? And does anybody remember what happens to our exponents? And does anybody remember what happens to our exponents? By variables, you subtract the exponents, okay? And then we're going to do plus 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then we have x over x, which just cancels out. So then we're left with 6x, because 2 minus 1 is just 1, plus 2. And this is one way of getting your answer. Okay? That's one way of getting your answer. Oh, I'm skipping? Oh, no. Okay. All right, so now let's do it a different way. Let's say that you're good at factoring out. Okay? So I want to factor. All right, so now let's do it a different way. Let's say that you're good at factoring out. Okay? So I want to factor out what do these two terms have in common? Well, what these two terms have in common is they have an x. What do these two terms have in common? Well, what these two terms have in common is they have an x. Well, what these two terms have in common is they have an x and can get me 6x. And then if we divide, can get me 6x. And then if we divide by the 3x, okay, if we keep that division by 3x, we divide by the 3x, okay, if we keep that division by 3x, we could do 6x divided by 3x. Well, what's 6x divided by 3x? These x's cancel, and 6 divided by 3 gets us a 2. So we could get 3x plus 1. Okay, now, why aren't these the same? Well, let's look here, right? Did we pull out everything? Did we simplify it to its lowest? Does 6 and 2 have something in common? Yes, they both have a 2. So what we could have done is we could have pulled out a 2 here. And we could say 2 times what gets us 6? Well, 2 times 3 gets us 6. Drop down your x. And then 2 times what gets us 2? 2 plus 1. So this is the simplest form. Okay. So this way does get you the same answer. You just got to remember to pull out the 2. Okay. So different ways. There's even more ways than that. Oh, my live is lagging. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let me unplug here. Let me unplug. So let me do that. Okay. So is that better? I just unplugged my phone. Hopefully it doesn't shut off. Okay. Am I back? Okay. Okay, good. Somebody says not cutting out for me. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's try number 2. Okay, so let's try number 2. Okay, so I'm going to try the first method where we just divide each of them. Okay, so we're going to do 40y squared over 5y plus 10y divided by 5y. Okay, so 40 divided by 5 is 8. And then remember, whenever you divide variables, you subtract their exponents. So we're going to put y2 minus 1. Okay. Plus, drop down your plus, 10 divided by 5 gets us a 2. And what happens to our y's? They cancel out because y divided by y cancels out. They go to a 1. Okay. So now we get 8y plus 2. Well, good. I see them coming in. 8y plus 2. Perfect. Now, can we factor out? Do 8 and 2 have something in common? Can we factor out something? Do they both share a common number? Yes, yes, yes. Good. Yes, they do. They both share a 2. So we could pull out a 2. And what you're asking yourself is, good, you guys? Yes. You're saying 2 times what gets you 8y? Well, 2 times 4y gets us 8y. 2 times 4 gets us 8y. Then I say plus 2 times what number gets me 2? What number's going to go right here? Does anybody know? Oh, Sterling said plus 1. Little, good. Little said plus 1. Perfect. 2 times 1 gets us 2. And this is our simplified version. Good, you guys? Yes. Okay, so for number 3, can you please start the method, please? You are lagging, please, in writing. Am writing tomorrow. Okay. Okay, number 3, too good, see? Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, Catherine, for the roses. Okay, would 8y plus 2y still be good? Still be okay? That's a great question. Would the 8y plus the 2 be okay? You know what? It would just depend because everything's multiple choice on. So this is what the GED will really look like. Okay. So it would be multiple choice. So you would just have to see if they gave it to you like this or if they gave it to you like this. So I believe since I'm looking here that this answer is acceptable. Okay. This answer would be from this example. Okay. So great question. 3 is B, C. Ooh, we kind of be going back and forth with this. Okay, so let's try it. So 21. I'm glad we're going back with B and C though. That's great, you guys. Okay, and then we're going to divide this by 7. And then we're going to put 14B over 7. Okay, so 21 divided by 7 gets us 3A. So right now, I know A and D are out. I just gave myself a 50-50 chance. Okay, I bring down my plus. What's 14 divided by 7? Well, 14 divided by 7 is 2. And drop down your B. So C is the correct answer. Don't forget to divide this 7 by every single term. Okay. Good. Yes, you guys. Awesome. Good. All right, let's keep it pushing. Okay, let's keep it pushing. So now this section of it is just straight GED problems out of the GED book. Okay, and they're all going to be multiple choice. Okay, from here, I think from here on out. Yep, they're all multiple choice. So which of the following expressions is equal to 6 minus 4 parenthesis x plus 3? All right. Okay, so what do you guys say? Oh, good, CEO. I was starting to do the GRE, but it didn't seem like a lot of people were needing help with the GRE because a lot of institutions said they are stopped accepting that or something. I don't know. So I slowed down on doing the GRE. But if a lot of people need that, I will most definitely start back on that. So ADA. Ooh, we're going back and forth here. Okay, we were saying D. Okay. So our first step, let me rewrite it. So 6 minus 4 times x plus 3. All right. Remember, we can never subtract before multiplying. That is an order of operations thing. We can never subtract before we multiply. So we cover up this 6 and we're going to distribute this -4. So negative 4 times x gets us negative 4x. And then negative 4 times a positive 3 gets us a negative 12. Okay. Now I drop down my 6. All right. Now I have some like terms. But before I even look there, I'm going to look at my options. I have a negative 4x. I know A and B are out because the 4s on here are positive and not negative. So now I just gave myself a 50-50 chance. Good, little bow. Yes, good. Yes, good change up. Excellent. D. Yes. So we're going to drop this down, negative 4x, and we're going to combine 6 minus 12 gives us a negative 6. So D is the correct answer. Yes, D. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Yes, those order of operations matter. All right, let's go to number 2, you guys. Let's go to number 2. Okay. What do you guys say for number 2? DD? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. Thank you for the share. Okay, somebody say, okay, somebody said AA. Okay. Glassy, I've never even heard of the para test before. If you send me like a study guide or something to my email at impactmath19@gmail.com, let me check it out. And then if I can do it, I'll start making videos on it. Okay, so let's do this one. So we're multiplying. So we're going to distribute here and here, okay? So 7c squared times a squared. It's like, what, right? Like, what is this stuff? Remember, whenever you're doing a number times a variable, you just squish it all together. So we write 7, and then which letter you write first is by alphabetical order. So A comes before C, so I write A squared, then C squared. Okay. So just by me doing this first distribute, just by multiplying these, I know this and this are out. You just gave yourself a 50-50 chance. Okay. Now let's go here. So we're going to do next. 7 times 5 gets us 35. And we have a C squared and a B. Well, B comes before C squared. So we have 35BC squared. So A is the correct answer. Okay. So A is the correct answer. And then we could keep on going so I'll show you why. 7 times 7 gets us 49. And then C squared times C squared, we'll add those exponents, get you C to the 4th. Okay. Okay. Aw, Shayla. No. Oh, sorry, the math ain't mapping. I know it looks crazy when you get all these different letters and you start to combine stuff. I know. But just think about it. You're just writing it together. If you see an A squared and a C squared, you just squish it together in alphabetical order. Okay. Oh, hey, Normal. Hey, Norma. Welcome. Welcome. All right. So let's do number 3. Let's do number 3. Okay, let's do number 3. Simplify the expression. Oh, this is crazy, right? Coco, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to all my first timers here. Welcome to all my first timers here, okay? And welcome back to all my OGs who's been with me. Welcome, you guys. Alrighty, so let's take this step by step. Okay. So let's look at this. So we have a minus 4 to the squared. What this squared means is I write a minus 4 2 times. So I put a minus 4 and it's another a minus 4 because that's what squared means. You write the base 2 times. And then we have times 6b. Okay. Now that's over. Well, we have 2 times 3 here. And 2 times 3 is a 6b. Okay. And then we have our a plus 4 and our a minus 4. All right. My 6b's can cancel because 6 divided by 6 goes to a 1. Okay. So those cancel out. Does anybody see what else cancels out? Good. One need to be an A plus 4. A minus 4, A minus 4. Yes. A minus 4 cancels out. Okay. Oh, somebody's saying number 2 is wrong. All right. We'll go back to number 2. I want you to explain to me why you say that. Okay. So now these cancel out. These cancel out because I believe you always learn from your errors. So it's good. So A minus 4 over A plus 4. And if you got, which one is on the bottom? If you said A was your answer, you are 100% correct. Now, somebody was saying number 2 was wrong. Okay, so explain why you say number 2 is wrong. Why is number 2 wrong? Thank you for the follow. Thank you, lady. All right. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Yes, I do understand in behaviors. Yep. That's algebra. I teach that. But that in behavior is not on the GED, and I'm just helping the people that need their high school diploma tonight. So I'm just doing that tonight. When I do an algebra night, I most definitely can cover in behavior. Okay. Okay. Oh, why is the answer in number 2 not number 2? Oh, good. Let's talk about it. That's a great question. That is a great question. Oh, what the GED stands for, it's well, I don't know what it stands for, but it's people that are trying to get their high school diploma. They never finished high school. They dropped out, and so now they're taking these tests to get their high school diploma. That's what the GED is in America. Okay. So it's all of high school. It covers all high school math, even some middle school math, really, too. So let's go back to number 2, because some people just don't believe that B is the wrong answer. Well, let's actually work this out, because I want you guys to understand what this means. So let's look at B here. We're going to write it step by step, okay? So this is 7. And then you see how it says A squared to the squared? So we would put, this would be A to the second, C to the second. Okay, because this 2 has to go to each term in there. That's exponential rules, okay? Here you have plus 35. And then you see how it says BC squared? So what this means is the B has to be squared and the C has to be squared. The problem between A and B is the B here, when we multiply 7c squared times 5b, it's a single B that drops down, not a squared B. And that's why B is not correct. So the difference between here and here is this is saying that B is squared and C is squared, where in our answer up here, B was single. There was only one B here. So it cannot be squared. This is why B does not work. And I hope that makes sense. And that was a great question because it's the trickery here, right? You look at it, it's like, oh, B, and then you see the C squared here. But remember what those parentheses mean. The two got to go to everything. Okay. So that's why B is not correct. All right. Good, good, good. Great question, you guys. Great question. It's perfect. When you multiply exponents, okay, let's see. When you multiply exponents, you technically add, which makes option A correct. Cannon, right on point. Yes. Somebody said A isn't correct either. A is correct. Why isn't A correct? We got, yep, it is correct. Double check it. All right. Okay. Take a screenshot and then you work it out, and then you see, okay? Let's work it out, okay? Take it step by step, okay? All righty. Oh, good, Cannon. Yes. Bachelor's families in the house. Cannon, I'm determined to go get my master's in my math. I want to teach community college. That's where I fell in love with teaching. I was an instructional coach. And I used to be teaching single mothers. We'd be in those jam sessions, just understanding the math. I mean, I used to love that, teaching college, community college people, trying to get to the next level. I got to go get my master's, y'all. I got to change lives. Yep. All right. So let's look at number 1. Oh, hey, I want to do actuary science. Ooh, good luck. I heard they make Super Monday. I got my bachelor's in mathematics, a BA in mathematics. So I took real analysis, crazy abstract algebra. Ooh, crazy stuff. I am originally from California. Sacramento State University is where I graduated from. But I currently live in Wisconsin with my husband. I moved to Wisconsin. I left California to move to Wisconsin. Yes, I am crazy. This snow ain't no joke. But I'm in Wisconsin now, Kenosha. All right, so let's look at number 1. So this has a lot going on, you guys. First, we got a negative here. Then we got some multiplying here. So remember PEMDAS, okay? PEMDAS. So we're going to start inside with these two, okay? So we're going to do 7x minus, we're going to keep this parenthesis. And then 5 times 2 gets us 10xy, okay? And the x comes before y because of alphabetical order, okay? And then we're going to drop down the rest. Negative 9y plus 8x, okay? Good. All right, now, okay, the key here. Cover this bad boy up. Remember this, what does this mean? Whenever you have a number attached to a parenthesis, that means you're distributing, you're multiplying everything in here by a negative 1. So this positive 10 goes to a negative 10xy. A negative times a negative gets us a positive 9y. And a negative times a positive gets us a negative 8x, okay? And we drop down our 7x. All right. Do we have any like terms, you guys? Ooh, Vado said negative 10xy plus 9y plus 8x. Yes. It's messing us up, right? Okay, so our oranges, 7x minus 8x. That gives us a negative x. So I'm going to look at all my options. I'm looking for which one has a negative x. I know this one is the only one with the negative x. It has my negative 10yx and it has my plus 9. C is my answer, and I would move on. Yes, I would not go further. I wouldn't waste time writing it out. This is a time test. Once you combine that and you see nowhere else it had a negative x, that's your only option. Good. Did I write number 2 wrong? Okay, so I might have, because I'd be late writing these problems out of the GED book. So let me see. Did I write the option? Did I miss something on here? Let's do it out. Let's do it out. So we're going to divide each one of these by 7. So I'm going to write it under here. So we're going to do 56 x squared, and we're going to divide that by 7x squared. Okay. So 56 divided by 7 is 8. Oh, yes, I did. Suck it now. I did write this all wrong. Thank you. Yes, cancel this out, you guys. I was tripping. I wrote it wrong. Or the book had it wrong because I copied this out the book. So we're going to skip this, okay? Because these x's should cancel out. So it should just be a plus 8. All right. Well, let's just finish it out. But these options are not going to be right, okay? Those options. So let's just do it, though. And then we're going to do plus 49 x to the third, y to the third. And this is dividing by 7x to the squared, okay? So 49 divided by 7 gets us a plus 7, okay? And then x to the third over x to the second. Well, how many x's do we have left? Remember, you subtract the exponents. So 3 minus 2 gets us an x. And then we have a y to the third left over, okay? All right. And now we're going to go here. So we're going to do a negative 84 x to the third over, we're dividing that by 7x to the second. So I don't know that off the top of my head. So 84 divided by 7 gets us 12. So we get a negative 12, okay? And then remember, what do we do with these exponents? Whenever we divide variables, we subtract them. So we get x, negative 12x, okay? And then we're going to do this last one. So negative 7x squared over 7x squared. All right, let's see it. So 7 divided by 7 is negative 1. And then the x squareds cancel out. Okay. Now we're looking here. Do we have any like terms? Well, we have a plus 8 and we have a negative 1. So what we would end up with is, let me write it up here, 7xy to the third minus 12x plus 8 minus 1 gets us a 7. And this is our beautiful answer. Thank you, lady, for the rose. Thank you. So, you guys, I must have been tripping, like looking at a total different problem when I came back to it. This is like, where is this even from, right? So, sorry about that. These are not our options. This is not the options for this problem. Okay. All right. Let's look at this bottom one. Okay. Let's look at this bottom one. I know somebody said, what grade is this? Pretty. This is like algebra 1, algebra 2, in between those. So this could either be junior year or freshman year. It just depends on like what level, like how your curriculum is set up. If it's harder or if it's easier. Okay. So somebody said A for this. Okay. Somebody said A. All right. Okay. So let's let's talk this out. Okay, let's talk about this. Does anybody recognize this y? Does everybody see this y here? And see how it's in parentheses. So whenever you have a letter times like this, remember we're distributing this to here and here. And what does distributing mean? It means we're multiplying. So we're doing 6x squared times y. And we get 6x squared y. Okay. And then I'm going to do y times this. Well, y times this term gets me the plus 5x. And then y to the second times y. How many y's do I have total? I have 2 here and 1 here. So it's y to the third. Okay. Now now I'm going to write minus, and I'm going to keep my parenthesis here, okay? Because I have a minus sign here, and I'm going to keep my parenthesis. But I'm going to cover this up now. And remember, this is another parenthesis, so we're back distributing. It's going backwards. So now I have 4 times 4, which gets us 16. And x times x gets us x. We have 2 x's here, so x squared. Y times y gets us y squared, okay? And then I'm going to go here. Negative 9 times 4 gets us 36. And x times x gets us x squared y. Okay. Whew. This is crazy, right? This is crazy. So we distributed here. We distributed here. And then we took this y and we distributed here and we distributed here, okay? We dropped down our minus sign, all right? So now what we're going to do is, remember, whenever you have a minus sign here, you have to distribute this negative to everything in the parentheses. That's why I had to keep the parentheses here, because I have to distribute this negative. So we're going to drop down negative 16x squared y squared. And then a negative times a negative changes it to a positive 36 x squared y. Okay. And we're going to drop down our 6x squared y. Okay. And then our plus 5xy to the cubed. Okay. Do I have any like terms? Does anybody see any like terms? Yes, yes. Okay, we got some yeses coming in. Yes, yes. Good. So I'm going to highlight this. Okay. So I have 6x squared y. Okay, I'm looking for another x squared y. Over here, I have another x squared y. Okay. Then I have this plus 5xy to the cube. All right. And then I have this guy right here, which is in purple. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my oranges. Well, first I'm going to look at my options. Okay. I'm going to look at my answers. And since I see this 5xy to the cubed, I'm going to write that first because I have 5xy to the cube right here. So I know C and D are most likely out. I just gave myself a 50-50 chance here. So I have a 5xy to the cubed. I also have a negative, this purple guy, I'm just going to drop down, negative 16x squared y squared, which is right here. There's this, they're the same. And now let's look here. We have a 6 plus 36. Oh, man, you guys are on it. It's A. Yay, it's A. I see those comments coming in. 6 plus 36 is 42. Because we add 6 plus 36. And we just carry down the x squared y. So A is your correct answer. Why distribute the minus sign? We have to distribute the minus sign because this is a -1. It's like a -1 times a parenthesis. And whenever you have a number attached to a parenthesis, you always have to distribute. Great question. Okay. Oh, good, good, good. All right, you guys. I have to go run and pick up my babies. Thank you so much for hanging with me tonight and doing this math. Tomorrow I plan on doing ASVAB. So if you know anybody that's taking the ASVAB and they need a higher score on the math part, I'll be doing that tomorrow. All righty. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, you guys. And I'll catch you guys on tomorrow. Bye, everyone.